the text surrounding what the announcement is. And then this is where there's a calendar. So this was last week. Do you have this week's?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeannie.
This is this week's. We missed Wednesday, and I'm hoping to have yours, Michelle, for tomorrow.
And I'm going to break your heart because I don't think we can, because I'm not technically registered for the conference. I mean, we have to change the language of it because I will be in Dublin, but I'm not going to the conference. I don't know if it matters, but we could just work on maybe something about Dublin that I'm going over.
Okay, sorry, I assumed you were going to the conference.
No, I'm not. Normally, you know, I am. There, it's a bunch of people are there and they're having a sidebar meeting, and I'm flying over for the sidebar meeting.
Okay, great.
But this is the calendar. Rob, you had asked where the calendar is. This is where Jean does her planning for. This is where she sets the future posts, and anyone can go in and proof them. There's a way to draft it and tell people to go in and proof the post before it goes live. And there's a whole calendar mechanism for it. And this is the platform we currently use. Eventually we want to go to HubSpot, but this is where we would continue to use until we're ready for those types of transition talks.
Okay, perfect. And then in regard to the copy and going across the platforms, you guys are using a lot of hashtags in there. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Like how you guys work out the copy and the hashtags and...
Yeah, the copy is really about a company becoming accredited, and it's either an accreditation audit or a reaccreditation audit. We try and change up the language about the audit, the congratulatory applause, things like that. And then we'll go on their website and see what they concentrate on, just a hashtag, kind of what they do, a little bit about their company.
Okay. And the hashtags that you choose to use, is that something you guys are going back and referencing? Is there any strategy behind picking those, when you use them and how you use them?
We try and go back to their posts and use their references. They're not always there, so we try and focus on their sort of core business. So we would use that if we can't find appropriate hashtags that they previously used.
Okay. And how often are you guys connecting with those companies, social media teams or communications teams?
We're not.
Okay. Okay. And then
and for some, Rob, not all these companies would have a social media team, but you're correct. If it's one of those companies that would, then that might be something we should be doing in the future. But some of these are very small companies and they don't have that.
Right.
Okay. And are you having the same post across all platforms, or are you changing them up for any particular ones?
The only ones we would change it up for is X, because they don't allow a lot of characters. So you have to just scale it down for that. But Hootsuite lets you do that, obviously.
Yep. Okay. And what are your biggest hangups, headaches, hurdles, challenges in the process up to this point?
The biggest challenge that I have is knowing that an audit is closed or there's no NCRs open, and at least they're in certificate decision process. It's getting that data so that I know I can post something in a timely manner.
And how do you guys communicate that internally? Is there a verification process to know, hey, this one's completed, it's out, it's good to go?
Yeah, there are various ways we can do that. I recently have worked with the program manager for ASA 100 And we're working on a mechanism for her to give me like a weekly report, so I know what's been closed. And then I can compare that to the pictures that we have, and it's a little easier, a little more streamlined process. There's still a little work to be done there.
Okay, and that process, do you have a sneak peek of it at all? Is it on a spreadsheet? Is it a?
It's a spreadsheet. I had it open earlier. No, I don't. Let's see. Second. That's not the right one. Okay. This was the previous one she gave me, which was about 2 weeks ago. She gave me a list of issued certs. I went through it and marked whether or not they were a member and whether or not I had a picture receipt. Anything in blue is what's been posted. Forgot why I used this color, but that was it. Other than that, I didn't have a combination of both member and have a picture, so a lot of this was not usable.
And as you get pictures back, are they just texting them over to you? Are they emailing them to you?
The auditors are emailing them to me. Lee is getting pictures as well, so I know she's keeping a special place for that. I can move that file over, so that you guys have access to it. But again, this was the first report that I had gotten from them, and this was the end result.
Rob, there's a lot of it. It might make sense for having when you all start to work on this to have a fresh set of eyes, because there's two qualifiers. Well, we made two qualifiers. Well, it's actually technically three. That they're a member. That the audit is that the audit is in cert decision, which would mean that the client has closed their issues, and that there's no outstanding finances. So they're actually, and no one is checking the finance part of it, but we might need to figure a better way of, not better, but this every time, since this is static, every time it's downloaded, it's going to override some of the information. And so we might need to, otherwise it's going to end up being.
They may get duplicated information. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. So it just, I think that we'll spend more time gathering up that information. But there might be we have to think about how to get that information. Like if Jean called me and said, hey, can I post CNS Aviation? I would just pull up the member list and see if they're a member, and pull up and go into Intellex and see if this file's closed. But that's how I would verify it. That doesn't though let you know who we should be getting pictures from.
Michelle,
right, this is a big.
This has a member, yes or no, and a picture received. So I did go through this particular big list and do that. But this was really the result of what I could post from this list.
Michelle, two quick questions.
The criteria we stated.
First question is, out of those three requirements, is the financial, or what gives you the most holdup? Like what typically is the big hiccup? Is it financials, or is it or is it something
They're closing they're closing the file.
That's the one that takes the longest.
that's the one that you have to make sure is done. Like, we posted a picture a week and a half ago of a client that Jean didn't know. I'm not sure how, with all this information, that's why I really had to look at this, because I didn't realize this is how I was gathering. I was trying to figure out, I had sent them a letter that we were removing their cert, and then we posted a thing congratulating them. So I didn't know how that fell through the crack, but now I'm seeing this data that they're pulling together, and the data is not live. So, so I would tell you this, that, like, stepping back, I think that the issue is getting the pictures from the member companies that are ASA 100. So knowing that there are audits coming up, the auditors should be, like, if we could now that we're rewriting how we do stuff, the auditor that would be emailing the auditor that we need a picture, so they know to get us the picture. And that picture should be for a member company, because we don't want to just, take pictures that we're not going to use, because then the client might wonder why we didn't use it, and then we have to get this whole weird discussion of why we're not using it. So it'd be nice for us to set up an email to the client and the auditor saying, you're being audited on this day, we'd like to post a picture from the audit, please send me the picture. So we get that ahead of time, and in that email, we can tell them that the picture will be posted as soon as your audit is closed, and then we just need to, so I think that for some of the questions of, are they a member, like what Jean's tracking and what I think is column I, should be done before the audit. And we should be like that. I would start by, I think if we're starting for next week, we have to follow what we currently have. But I think the goal should be to immediately start to solicit the pictures from the audits that we want. And then we have the pictures we want coming in, and then we just, of course, we can do this is just a download of data out of one of our databases. That's why there's so many columns here. The columns that Jean might use is column D, but and then she's inserted I and J. But once you have once you have a list of upcoming audits, and we download an Excel of members, and then you match it, who are the files you want, so we can shoot an email off to them asking for those pictures, and then you just have to verify the closure of the audit. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think that's how we should do it going forward. I don't know if Jean has a backlog of pictures right now.
I have a small backlog of pictures.
And is there a requirement for the auditor to be in that picture, or is just a picture of the company and whatever they would provide?
It's not a requirement for the auditor to be in the picture. Almost all of them have the auditor in it that are submitted. So someone goes out and takes a picture of the auditor, and some companies, they give us a big picture. A lot of times it's the people who in operations that go in and they take a quick picture with everyone.
Michelle, on this sheet, or Jean, either one, is there a reason? My idea that ran through my head is there should be a light version of this that's like on a Google sheet where people can log in and see, so that they can give their input. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. Yes, this was a test sheet that Lee and I did a couple of weeks ago to see if it was helpful or not. So this is not carved in stone, but this was one way of doing it. The other way I normally would do it is I would check. We have a schedule it program where they schedule the audits, and there's a certain time in which they'll code it that it's completed. And then I can tell by that whether or not I can post a picture that I have.
Yeah.
But I have to keep going back and checking it.
Got it. Okay.
So this is schedule it. And this is this tells you, there's our calendar of all the audits. All of this is exportable to Excel and you can pull things out. But for example, like if you were to look at this week, Ava Dombrowski, she's an Infinity Air, which is everything for ASA. I mean, they're a member, sponsor, champion award winner. And then she's at AMP Aero Services, and they're doing AS 9120 and ASA 100. All of this has a backside that exports out, and they all are people who we should have pictures at, because they meet all of those qualifications. And this is all the audits going on. So we can export this, which tells you the upcoming audits. You know, the export allows for the function of forward, and then you just have to compare it against. This downloads as an Excel, and then you would compare it against a download of a membership Excel, and that would tell you who are the upcoming members that are being audited.
Mm.
But this is the calendar function we have for all of the audits. Like Andrew McLeod right here, he is doing all of these audits. And they're all in the Middle East. Both, a lot of these are in the Middle East. Proponent right here is a multi-site audit, so we would probably talk to him about a collage of pictures addressing Proponent, or a slide of pictures and things like that. But all the data is very easy to be reviewed and seen.
Michelle, I'm seeing some of these customers, like, and I'm already thinking some of these guys I already know do a lot of social media themselves. Like Amp Aero, like they do a bunch on their own because I know there's their marketing person, you know.
And there's two Amp Aeros. So the one we're talking about is the one out of Miami. You're correct. Amp Aero does a lot. So this is the one. Just so you, as you know, there's two of them.
Yeah, right.
But this is the one out of who does a ton. Yeah.
That's right. So you know, for example, those guys, if we reached out, Paper Plane said, "Hey, we're working with ASA. Like, we need this to look really, really good." They're happy to jump in, and even Proponent, like they're happy. You know, if they know that there's a new, you know, there's folks. We're trying to revamp marketing at ASA. They'll absolutely like help us with stuff. So I'm just saying that not all of these are created equal, and so we could keep the standard like single shot photo, but there's folks that we can reach out to go, hey, we need something real sexy, and then they'll work with us. You know what I mean? So that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you on it. I'm just telling you that we probably need to think about, like I said, the taking over today, which means using the tools we have here.
Yep.
And then where we want to be. I'm making this up in 2 weeks, which it may be longer than 2 weeks. I'm just saying where you want to be in 2 weeks, because I would be emailing the people saying this is an audit we want a picture from, and letting them know so we get the right pictures back.
Okay.
And it reminds the auditor, because you have a few auditors that always send stuff in and not all the other ones. And there's some companies out here like, while we value all members, there's some companies in which we'd rather have a post from them. I mean, we'd rather have STS do a post with our name across the platform. And I can't say that on a mic, but Simon Edwards might not send us in a picture. And we would really like to have STS hitting our link about what they're doing on quality and why they chose ASA.
Yeah, for sure. So this is great. I mean, just from my end or our end, me and Angie, like we probably need like a couple days over the weekend to wrap our heads around it, and then if we could schedule some time with Gene to do some of that real time stuff, if that's okay with you, if that we're not encroaching on your time, Gene, I'd love to do an extra step and put in a Zoom or a Teams, and then watch you do some of this stuff, so that we can poke around and ask questions. You know, as it goes on. And then I think, yeah, Michelle, you're right. Like a week and a half, like I think we'll have it totally down.
It could be, if we were talking about how quickly can you all start to post edited pictures, if you have the information, you could be doing that immediately.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about doing change that makes a workflow better, that'll take a while. But in
Right.
showing you how to log into Hootsuite and to edit a picture and do the post, Jean could have you trained in that in 2 hours. It's just very simple to do.
And
But it's just, we're gonna run out of the pictures because they're not coming, the auditors are not sending them back in, and we definitely want some more of the picture.
yeah, because we're talking. So I saw two types of posts, right? So we're talking, like, if you have a little bit of a backlog, that's not even that many posts.
It doesn't have a backlog.
Yeah.
We don't really have a backlog.
Okay.
I have a little bit of a backlog, not a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of the auditors that always sends in a picture isn't doing any audits. So
Yeah.
Roy Rester always sends pictures in. So that's why what I was saying is, like, we need to email the auditors to take some pictures. Amp Arrow's here, so we should be emailing Gretchen, Ava, that we need the pictures from that audit and things like that.
Michelle, how is this group on, like, text? And I'm just throwing questions out here, just popping into my head randomly. But, like, if we were to go, hey, this is ASA marketing, don't forget to do this, or would that be overstepping boundaries, or is there?
Well, so you need to be introduced, so in the future it would not be overstepping boundaries, but the best way to communicate with them is through chat. So through Teams,
Okay.
because everyone is doing all of their ASA work on Teams. So if I want to reach out to any of them, there's only 2 of them that don't use Teams. Almost all of them, I chat them through Teams and ask them for to take the picture.
Got it. Okay.
Like, not to take the picture for anything I need to have done. So, but it's Teams is how that's why it's so important that we get the email set up, because then you can have everything, they'll respond back to you through Teams, and they're always on Teams.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
While I'm here, can I just show you one other thing? So Jean talked about how she can open these up and see things. When we do have you log in, we can show you how you can click on the companies. There's an export that gives you all this, but you can see when they're considered closed. But
You'd have to go back a couple of weeks, right, Michelle?
go back. What do you mean?
And
Sorry.
schedule it. If you go back to.
Oh yeah, to see the different
you'll see
colors.
those.
Sure.
Yeah.
But these are all going to be green because they're live, so you're not going to see that any of them are closed. But as they change to different colors based upon their status in the system, and that lets you know that the audit is closed. And this all prints up on. Let me go over here. It tells you completed. So that's why, and this is all because we work visually, but when we want to report and it downloads, this is all in a report. It'll tell you if it's completed or open. So it's all very easy to export out of Schedule-It. So you need access into Schedule-It, and then you're going to need, not always are they closed, but what Lee had sent to you, sorry, this is going to be this is just the other software, and this is where you would be able to tell if they're in cert decision, that lets you know, because that you can post it even if it's
If it's not
even if
closed.
it's not completed and schedule it, because once the client, and that's where this is the information you want to go to, because once the client closes it, it could take a month until it's closed in our Schedule-It system. But this is where is the best place to find whether you can post it now.
Okay.
And this is all just a login, this is not, it is easier to verify by logging in than exporting out the report, because the report's gonna put all the data into it. And they're being closed all day long. So whatever report you get on Monday may be invalid the next day. And as you can see, this is just how quickly I just logged in and got to right here, and that has all the information.
Cool.
And I don't know of a way to get, this software does not speak to other softwares. Where Schedule It you could possibly write an API type of code to have it read into other stuff. But this one does not. And this gives you the most up-to-date as to whether a company, like this company right here, Advantage Aviation Services, they're not gonna be closed in Schedule It, but they're in cert decision, and so they could be posted if they're a member. And then, all right, you guys can see I was trying to open up the Google document. Over here, this is our website, and I always just go to lists and databases. And here's the member directory. And if you wanted to see if Advantage, they're a member, so this would let you know that you could, that they're a member and that their file's closed. So this is how we're doing it at the end. It would be better if we put the membership in the front and just targeted member companies for a picture. But if Gene had a picture from Advantage, this is what we would be doing at this point. If the auditor sent it in, you would check that they're a member and you would check that their audit is closed.
Okay.
Is there one person that bottom lines the green light, or is this the same kind of walkthrough combing process that a few of you guys use to green light?
Only
the
Gene
posts?
does. Only Gene
Only I
does the
do it.
social media.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
This is exportable to an Excel, but this does not export in a very user-friendly manner.
No, yeah.
Up here is a list of ASA 100, and this exports very user-friendly. But you're not gonna need that because you really should be in scheduling. You need to see who's about to be audited.
Mhm.
Rob, I don't think this will mean much to you, but I know Powell will know it, Angie May. ASA uses Pentagon 2000 software. So, and I don't know, Powell, you know Pentagon, obviously, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we use Pentagon. And so, as long as you have the email access set up, then you can also go in here. And for like Advantage Aviation Services, this would tell you that they're a member. So there's multiple places. These all sync. So whatever information this is a mirror to the website because Pentagon feeds our website. And so you can gather that information from either location. But there's not one report that pulls it together for you. Okay.
Cool. What else?
Well, for social media, it would be the pictures and then also identifying the activities that, the audit pictures and activities that are coming up. So posting that there's the champion award schedule, posting that the nominations are open. The same would hold true for the Glockler Award. We had a board meeting, so I have pictures I can give Gene from the board meeting. So you can do a board meeting right up. We're coming up for I don't think there's actually much travel in February. But March and April start PV Expo and MRO and things like that. There will be announcements of the keynote speakers and other things for the conference.
Nice.
But all of those types of posts have to get determined and then the images created for it.
Yeah. So I think. Oh, Rob, did you have anything?
Go ahead. My wheels are spinning at the moment.
I mean, obviously, for me, the first steps on this is once we get the email and logins and being able to just Angie and I working in these systems and playing around with them, and also putting together the workflow that as we understand it, and then presenting it back to Eugene. Just to go, okay, here's how we understood our first meeting. Here's us logging in ourselves into these systems and explaining to you how we understood what each system does, so that you can go, yep, I'm confident that you guys get it. And then, as we do 1 or 2 posts together, and you can watch us do that, just maybe scheduling a second or third meeting, so that you can see us do it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool.
And I have no issue meeting in the evenings. There are a couple of evenings where I'm not available, but this is no issue for me.
Awesome. Yeah, the only, we'll get to this get going on this right away. We do just have a storm coming up here for the weekend, in Houston and I guess the Midwest. But we'll be working on it.
Are you able to get home or no?
Well, that's what was actually, we had a meeting with Alaska today, and we were supposed to stay to film a video with Jet Parts tomorrow, but we called Jeremy Hahn and decided we were going to try to get home sooner rather than later, so that we're not stuck on the West Coast over the weekend. So we canceled that, and we'll probably do it at the MARPA winter meeting.
Will both of you be at the MARPA winter meeting?
Yes.
And do you know when you're coming in and going out?
Have we booked all our stuff? We can move it around.
Not yet, but originally the plan was to fly in on the 9th, so the Monday.
And when's the MARPA meeting again?
On the 10th, it's a Tuesday.
Because if you extend a day, then it would be easy for Gene to come and meet us in DC.
Perfect.
And go through face-to-face anything you need. If you can't extend, so the MARPA all-day Tuesday is MARPA, right?
Correct.
And you may be busy on Monday with MARPA.
Yeah, we're filming
you can say
on
that.
Monday before the dinner. Like interviewing the board the board members and stuff, and then the dinner, and then I think we moved our NSL stuff to March, right?
Yes, it's March 4th.
So we should be free
yeah.
after. So we could let us confirm, but I think we're good to stay a day, Michelle, or
And it's only if you think it's needed, but it's very easy for Jean to come in. As long as she's open, it's easy for a flight up from Florida is not an issue.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's great to know.
Unless you're having snow.
We may still have the snow from this weekend.
Oh, really? I heard another system was going to the northeast. I don't know if it's going as far south as you, Michelle.
We're having they say 2 feet. That's why I don't even know if I go to Dublin. We'll see.
Oh,
Oof.
Mom.
2 feet of snow.
For us, that's like, who knows?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
We're getting ice though.
Yeah.
You guys are different than us.
Ice and busted pipes.
We won't get ice, but we don't have plows. We only plow the highway. So they don't get a lot of snow. We don't get a lot of snow here. So, they do have plows, but it's very few. So they just close all the schools and we close till it warms up because we never stay that cold. But but it looks like we are below freezing for 7 days.
Wow.
So that's a weird one for us, because
Yeah.
normally they just let it melt. That's just how it goes. So you,
So Powell,
Jean
what
did
do you
mention-
think our next meeting is? Like, what do you think in your head?
Okay, I'm thinking tomorrow when we get home, Angie and I will kind of look at all the notes, and listen to the audio recording, which I'm doing right now, and then just walk through this. Once we get the emails situated and everything, just make sure that we both get acclimated to the system. So tomorrow, maybe Monday or Tuesday, if that's fair for you.
Yeah, we just have to figure out a time. That's fine. No
Okay.
problem with that.
Yeah, and are you okay to, if we're texting or like asking questions like we would? Are you okay to communicate that way, or is it all via email?
No, like Michelle said, through the chat is great.
Chat, right?
Yeah,
Teams?
through the chat is great.
Okay, we'll do Teams. Perfect.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So the other one is Gina's working on a member bulletin. And, that would end up being one of the social media posts. And so, Jean would, Jean, they're going to work on redesigning the bulletin, but not for this month. I don't even know if it'll be next month.
Okay.
But they should, at some point, you'll want to show them the bulletin. Would love to get it out of the website and have it developed through somewhere else. But that'll be a social media post too, because the bulletin will go out. And so Jean does have like set images she uses for the bulletin and blog posts and things like that.
Nice. Yeah.
So they'll need access to all of that. I don't know, are all of that done? Are all of those done through what design program? Because they won't be able to use the design program you have that's a desktop.
Right. So I use InDesign for a lot of my stuff, but I'll go to Canva online and I'll steal some of their designs and just redo it in InDesign just because I'm so used to it. It's just easier for me. So if you use Canva, we can figure stuff out there. It's just a matter of the feel and look that we want to do.
That works perfect because I love Canva.
Okay, good. I don't work in Canva that much because I feel like, I don't know. I don't know it well enough. So if you know it well, I think it'd be great.
Awesome.
Okay.
And ASA has an account for pictures. And so if you need
Shutterstock.
images down, Shutterstock, so we have a Shutterstock account. And so you can get pictures out of there. I don't know how many downloads we're allowed a month or something.
It's 10 a month.
So if you need images, then you can always get out of there too if you need.
Yeah.
Your
Angie just emailed
InDesign,
me. Yeah, sorry, go on, Rob.
your InDesign is, are you using your personal account for InDesign on Adobe?
Yes.
Okay.
You would rather InDesign?
No, I use Adobe all the time. That's why I actually edit photo, video, a bunch of other stuff on. I love Adobe, but I haven't used InDesign before. So, but if I've already got it, I can poke around in it.
Just to do the basic social media posts, it's not difficult at all. I didn't know how to use it either. And I don't use it like a true graphic designer, but the basic stuff is pretty easy.
Right. so Angie just emailed me that she has access. So Angie, I need to, and I don't know why I'm not, if you log into Office or Microsoft now,
Mhm.
you should be able to get Teams downloaded and have access to Teams.
Okay.
If you don't, I'd like to get Mike involved on that as quick as possible, because as soon as you have Teams, then we would send out an intro to everyone on staff. Because they need to know that you're not a scam email.
Right.
Perfect.
Because ASA we are a high risk for scamming because of all of the emails we send out.
Right.
So, and that's one of the other reasons why with staff we use chat, just because someone would have to completely get access to your system to be able to communicate through chat. So it's easier. A few other things, but if you can test that to see if you can log in, then once you have that, we can set up a SharePoint folder, and Jean can move the the pictures to SharePoint, and then we have a place where we can work on documents together and things like that.
Perfect. I'm logging into the Teams.
And everyone would have access. You all would have this access through your login, so you would have that too. So, Rob, I'm unable to access the documents you sent me through Google Docs. They go directly into my personal account rather than a work account. I tried opening it through the work account and I can't. And is there a way that you can send it to me as a link, but can you open it up? There was a thing in the link.
Do me a favor, can you take over the screen share? Let me see what you're looking at. I can walk you through how to.
Yep, hold on. I'm on the screen share, so let me just get the email open.
Yep.
Give me 1 second.
Yep.
I don't want to blow out their speakers.
So this is how it came through. Right.
Oh, you're opening it on Outlook. Okay.
Yeah, or if I open it here, Outlook won't open it. It's telling, and so I asked my daughter, sorry, she runs a
Brilliant.
clinic. She runs a
Brilliant.
clinic for computer training for retirees. So I asked her, and she told me that I needed to have, this is my personal stuff. But if I didn't want it in my personal stuff, then I needed to have the, so this came through a while back. Hold on. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to read. Hold on. What you're sending to me, it's saying that because it's only going to let me open it under my Gmail. And I was trying not to, hold on, Kate, come on in. What does Rob need to do?
What?
I'm on camera right now, people. What do I need to tell him to do when he sends me the Google Doc?
He should, instead of hitting share and then putting in your email, he should be hitting share and then where it says like restricted link, saying let the link share with everyone and then setting it to edit.
Does that make sense, Rob?
Yep, it's an open link versus a closed link. So sometimes the pickle is when we send an open link, anybody who lands with a link can open the doc versus we're just trying to keep it between us. So if I'm trying to tell you and Angie something and I don't want Powell to find out that we're going to surprise him, then we don't want an open link. So what I can do is I can definitely start sharing them open. The only thing you'd need to do there is where it says you're signed in under this particular email. If you click on that and change the email that you're logged in under, which would be in your Outlook, ideally. Oh, but this is asking
Right.
you for a Google account. Let me see.
She said I wouldn't need a Google account.
Yeah, if it's just an open link, you wouldn't need a Google account. So let me do this. Oh, no, not that one. That is a simple fix for retirees.
Do you know what it is in general, I'm really trying to keep work stuff under the work because, I realized what a disaster was. ASA, when we get subpoenas, I have to then I realized it's a pain if you don't keep all your official documents under the work stuff.
Yep.
And so I was trying not to use my Gmail, but then I didn't understand why I couldn't open anything. So and if you're able to fix it that way, that would be great. Since we use SharePoint so much, we could have file shares in SharePoint, and then I feel bad because some people really love the Google Docs. It's just, if we're all Outlook, it makes it hard here.
Yep. Let me see. Which form are you wanting to pull up?
The two you sent me to review, the two on marketing, the larger marketing questionnaire and the shorter.
Okay, let me update that. This one. Aviation suppliers. Phase 1. Phase 2. Okay, let me see. So I just changed the permissions on them. Do me a favor and refresh your page or try and click on the
Wait.
document again.
Great, give me a second.
Editor. Oh, that's the one I just did.
Is that the one you did?
I just did that one right now. So if you refresh one more time and then click on it, let me see if it'll let you through.
Wait 1 second. Sorry, let me just start from the beginning. Yeah, it's open now.
Great. Your daughter wins all things. Let's go.
Yes, so can you do the same for phase 1? That way I don't have to keep it in my Gmail.
Yep. Try popping that one open again.
You know what I'm gonna have to do? So that's, okay, so it's gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna need phase 1, phase 2. And can
Better
you do
bet. I went through all
You
the
did everything.
documents. Yeah.
Great, okay.
Yeah.
It looks so,
Yeah.
if I can't open them, I'll let you know, but I already had them open in my Gmail, so I'm okay
Okay.
for at least having the access. Okay,
Okay. Perfect.
okay. I just sent a chat through Teams and,
I'm logged in.
Did you get a Teams chat already?
I did. I responded.
Fabulous. Okay. So, for whenever you all get Teams, if you're logged into ASA, you have everyone's on staff's contact information through Teams. Everyone, you can chat anyone and through staff. And so we'll do an intro at some point so you'll have access to people. Okay.
Got it.
If you all
Got it.
think of questions, let us know. And if
We should do a public meeting on Monday.
over
Tuesday,
here
fine.
is ASA's website on About Us. So you know who you're talking to. All right.
Gene with that blowout. Go, girl. Fangs all in action.
So this doesn't have the auditors on here, but just so you're aware of, it has a few of the auditors, but these are people who are staff auditors.
Yeah.
But if you need to just know who everyone is, you have it through here. But the best way to communicate with everyone when they're working, their Teams chat is open all the time.
Great.
And do you guys have designated conversations based on department or topics or anything like that? Or is it just you one-on-one DMing everybody?
So there's a group chat for ASACB and there's a group chat for ASA 100. Whenever I have questions for Jean, because I think I told you all that I talked with Jean the most, I just chat directly with her, and I usually have Michelle Chalmers on copy because Michelle Chalmers supports Jean. On the communication side, she does not, but for all the other membership and conference aspect, she does. So that's what I'm usually talking to Jean about, and since they step in and cover each other all the time.
Nice.
Perfect.
Hey, we're excited,
And
y'all.
Sorry, while I still have your attention, just for one, not your attention, but you had asked about a calendar. This is our SharePoint landing page. And these were meant for shared calendars. So there's a mechanism to do that for staff to see that, but Rob, you and I would need to discuss with everyone here, sorry, but you were the one who brought this up last time, what you meant by calendar. Because staff being in or out and the audits are all done through Schedule It. So but you were talking about, I'm assuming, a communications. If you're just talking about what is our next communications, that's through Hootsuite, and Jean has like an Excel or a Word document that she's tracking stuff that needs to go in. But that's not visible to anyone who isn't logged into Hootsuite.
Perfect. Yeah. So where my mind goes down this rabbit hole is a common headache that I typically have is having to juggle 10 different platforms. So going from an Excel sheet to a downloaded Excel sheet to a Google Doc to Google Calendar to then a Microsoft Teams calendar that then has to go DM to this one. And then we've got 5 different platforms for this particular guy, but depending on what you look for, you might want to go in the bottom sock drawer. Otherwise, it's the junk drawer under the microwave. So in those, my goal is always to consolidate where everything lives in one place. And this is one of the things, like I used to hate Google. I just thought it was lame. And then all of a sudden they had this massive surge of tools and consolidated efforts where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't live without Google. And some of these headaches do come still with Microsoft, but again, it's because you're so familiar with the system, it's hard to break up with it. It's like my relationship with Mac. I love them and I hate them, but I can't leave them because there's no one else who does what it does, right? So in considering all the calendars, the number one biggest thing that stood out to me in this overview was you guys are juggling so many platforms to get the thing done Big picture, my secret selfish goal would be to try and consolidate as much of this as possible. And this is where I really believe HubSpot is going to come in clutch, and high level as well could probably deliver just as much, if not more, at a fraction of the cost. And there's a short learning curve, but the goal is to do all the framework and the building underneath the car, so that you guys don't have to worry about what's under the hood. All you have to worry about is where's the gas, where's the brake, how do I put it in park, right? But I think a lot of what those platforms offer will help take a lot of this workload and the scheduling off. So at least, going from 15 different sites and platforms and spreadsheets, we can drop it down to at least half of what you guys are doing. Like half I feel confident about. If I can bring it down to like a third of what you guys are doing, I think that would be a massive win. But at least, moving forward, it's scalable, it's more transferable to a new person that can learn this thing. And yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. And it's normal because everybody specializes in what they specialize in, and most often we just kind of like, hey, this is over time how we've managed to get a grip on this thing, and it's still chaotic, but you don't want to go back to where we came from, where we started. Like that was even worse. So
and that our goal is to get to HubSpot, and we've identified some of the tools in HubSpot we want to probably use. But we're several months off from being able to, we still have, it would be good to, we have to live with what we have for now, and then hopefully be on HubSpot this year. So, I mean, that was the goal, to be on it last year. So, to have
and here's what I'll tell you is the goal and kind of going in that direction isn't necessarily that you start using it tomorrow. The build out and understanding, and here's the cool thing about it, I think that this is what we mentioned the first time we covered the topic, is it's not to reinvent what you're doing, is you build your habits on the platform, and then you start kind of taking your hands off the wheel when you realize, oh my gosh, this thing has self-park, right? Oh man, this thing has automatic reverse. And as you realize, it's just helping you with your already existing routine. And this is kind of the scare factor in getting into it. It's kind of like taking on a new ERP, is once you realize, oh my gosh, there's a tool for this, great. We don't have to lose any more sleep over it. And that's the scariest part about the entire thing. So as we learn your routine, as we learn your workflows, as we learn your scheduling, as we kind of get into this and we get our hands on it, what I'm doing in the background is really working on architecting that framework for HubSpot, that if we can get a head start building it for you guys, by the time we're like, hey, we're in good stride, great, let me introduce you this. It's right away the piece that it immediately will help is scheduling, management, the audits, and the checkoff list of who's who, where, who's a member, when are they scheduled for, and did they complete it? Do we have the green light? That entire process can be consolidated into one little piece in HubSpot, which will be like 4 different websites, 4 different landing pages, and you'll be able to see it all on one screen, which will be really cool. It'll email everybody, it'll text everybody. Everybody will have all the communication, several eyeballs on it, and you could just see the little marble moving down the track, which is cool. So
Great.
I'm pumped.
Great.
It's gonna be great.
All right. So I'm going to read the documents you sent, and then I'm going to share with Jean the questions you had about the awards program. We'll write up the responses, and I'll get that to you. And then you all are going to think about what you saw tonight, and then work with us on a time to meet with Jean
To reconnect.
on doing a bunch of posts. But so just so Jean will have to start to set next week's tomorrow. I mean, they have to be in tomorrow for next week, and then but I mean there'll be more coming in. We have to. So when you know your schedule, just email with Jean. I'm out Monday through Wednesday if I have a flight to Dublin.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks so much for your time, y'all. We're excited, and yeah, we'll get our heads wrapped around this, and then ready to move forward. So,
Great,
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You got it.